Lord Tremendous here. Got yet another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos versus Lord Urky of the Warriors of Chaos. This was a match. This guy's still a relatively new player. We kind of got this match in. I'm running a D&D game, and we were trying to get a game in real quick prior to that starting off. He's got maybe 10 to a dozen games under his belt, and he told me to take the training quiz. He said not to go easy on him or anything like that, and he wanted me to do a battle report on it, so I did. And he's not bad or anything like that. He's putting lists together and stuff like that, still learning the system, but he's got potential, and he's playing Warriors of Chaos, so how could you go wrong, right? Here's my list. It's slightly different. This is a game that happened about 5-6 days after my game against the Wood Elves. And I actually did get a game against Holy Death as well, but he hasn't sent me his narrative yet, so I'm holding off posting that one until then. So you get this one. Yay! But here's the new guy. I have my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's level 3 Wizard, Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Flaming Breath, Poisonous Slime, and Laura Metal. And I know what you're saying. Poisonous Slime doesn't work with the demons or because they have magical attacks. Incorrect. Read the book. Believe it or not, it says for poison and flaming attacks, only magic weapons don't get the benefit from those attributes. Demon Prince doesn't have a magic weapon. I don't equip him with a magic weapon. He's got magical attacks, but that's not a magic weapon. That's just him, you know? So, no. Poisonous Slime does, in fact, work with him. Maybe, I've never seen a TO argue the other way or anything like that. I've never seen anything online that argues the other way. Magic weapon, you'd have me. If he had the Sword of Striking, the Demon Blade, you know, the Sword of Might, yeah, you'd be right. But he's got magical attacks, not a magic weapon. Totally works. My hero character, I know after saying all that, I'm still going to get 8 comments that say, you can't use that, you're wrong. I'm sorry, brother, black and white in the book, verbatim, you're wrong. And if it comes out as a dick move, hey, I'm a dick, what can I tell you? My hero choices are my Exalted Hero, Catalyst, the Keeper of the Colors. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch, he's still my BSB, he's got a Halberd, Castede, Helm of Many Eyes, and a Dawnstone. No change there. My Exalted Hero Berserk still has the Mark of Khorne, Extra Hand Weapon, Hideous Visage, Dragon Helm, and a Crown of Command. No change there. And my Chaos Sorcerer, Saval, the Mercenary of Chaos. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch, he's level 2 Wizard, he's on a Demonic Mount, Pack Hog. He's got an Enchanted Shield, Skull Katam, Talisman of Protection, and he uses the Lore of Tzeentch. No change there. My core choices are 5 Chaos Warhounds with Scaled Skin. I put the skin back on them because I didn't like them running around naked. Felt a little bad. And I lowered the amount of Chaos Warriors, Cord Warriors that I have. They're 17 man brick, 18 with Berserk installed. They're still blood tied. And they still have the Mark of Khorne with full command, halberds, and the Banner of Fury. And I've added 18 Chaos Warriors, the Children of Tzeentch. They have the Mark of Tzeentch, they have full command, hand weapon shield, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. I needed an anvil. I missed having the warriors in there, and my wife kind of wanted me to put them back in the list, so I was like, hey, why not? I'll do that. I also have 5 Chaos Knights still for my special choices with the Mark of Tzeentch and Sorcered Weapons. They have a full command now, and you'll know why in a second. And, the Standard of Discipline, because I still have my, my BSB in there with his Helm of Many Eyes. So I need the Leadership 9. I also brought a War Shrine with the Mark of Tzeentch because as I was putting this list together, I realized I had points to put unit champions in 3 of my units, and I have 3 characters that can benefit from the War Shrine. And it's only a 4-up bump, you know? It's not too bad with a 4-up armor with a 3-up ward. He's, Leadership 8, he's just as good as a Chariot, really, just without the Chariot's impact hits. So why not, right? I figured I'd throw him in there and give it a shot. Plus, I do really like the model. So I threw it in there, and so far, I got to be honest with you, I'm actually kind of enjoying it. It's kind of nice to be able to perma-buff your characters, your unit champions, stuff like that, and make them a lot tougher than they already are. So I'm liking it so far. And of course, my rare choice. He'll never leave the list. I don't care if the list doesn't allow 240 points in rare choices. I'm still taking him. The Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list is as follows. It's from memory. I didn't actually get a copy of his list. He was actually writing it down as we were setting up to play. So I forgot to take a picture of it. I apologize. I was really, really hungry. Like this, I was supposed to go out to eat dinner before I started this game, but I got got into the game. It was like turn 2 when the other guy was ready, and I was like, oh no, and I never did get to go to dinner, but luckily they brought it to me. I was so hungry during this game, it was hard to think. But he has a Demon Prince, Mark Nurgle, level 4 Wizard, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Chaos Familiar, and the Lore Nurgle. He also had Chaos Armor and Wings. And this is a kit. I helped this guy make the original list or whatever for this when he first put things together, and he has tweaked it. So if you notice some things that kind of mesh or looks like, hey, these used to be part of your army, there's a reason I helped make this the original list. He's changed it up since then. He's got an Exalted Hero with the Mark of Tzeentch. He's his BSB. He's on a Demonic Mount. He's got a Great Weapon, a Shield. The Demonic Mount is barded, now that I think about it. He was barded because he was only moving 7 inches. Let's see. Great Weapon, Shield, Talisman of Preservation, and a Third Eye of Tzeentch. He also has a Chaos Sorcerer with the Mark of Nurgle, who is his level 2 Wizard, had the Enchanted Shield, the Spell Scroll, and used the Lore of Death. His core choices were 2 naked units of Chaos Warhounds, a unit of 18 Chaos Warriors with the Mark of Nurgle, hand weapon shield, and I know they had a magic banner, I just don't remember which one it was. He had another unit of 24 Chaos Warriors with the Mark of Khorne, with the Halberd shield and the magic banner. I know they had a magic banner. I want to say it was a banner of swiftness, but I don't remember. And then he had 5 Chaos Knights as a special choice with the Mark of Tzeentch and Sorcerer's Weapons, Band of Musician. I'm almost positive they had a magic banner. I want to say it was the Razor Standard. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's right. I just can't remember for sure. And then his 2 rare choices were a Hell Cannon and he had a Mutalith Vortex Beast. And you thought I was lying about helping make this list. Here's my spells. 3 from Metal, 2 from Tzeentch, and 1 from the Beast. And here are his spells. 5 from Nurgle and 2 from Death, and of course his beast, the Imposter. Here's deployment. For the most part, I just kind of threw everything down in the middle. You're fighting against chaos. Charge. You know, you're gonna get into some brutal combats here. Charge, try to overwhelm, try to soften him up with magic the best you can. That was my plan. He told me to come at him, and I had every intention of doing just that. Here's his right flank. From left to right, there's his Nurgle Demon Prince. His actually flies. There's 1 unit of dogs. Behind them are his Nurgle Warriors with his level 2 Sorcerer installed. And on the hill there is his Hell Cannon. Ooh, excuse me. Here's his center. On the left there is his beast. In the middle there are his Khorne Warriors with halberds and shields. In front of them are some dogs. And there's his BSB on a Demonic Mount. I know it looks like a Khorne icon on there, but it's just an optical illusion. That's actually a Tzeentch icon, because his character is Mark Tzeentch. So, yeah. Shh. And here's his left flank with 5 Knights of Tzeentch with Banner Musician and Sorcerer Weapons. Here's my right flank. I put Saval and the Mutalith on the right there. The Mutalith was just going to try to zot his knights with his spell from behind the little hut there, so the knights couldn't charge, and the Mutalith could have fun firing off his spell. And here's my center. Right to left, there's my knights with my BSB. I had to put a different BSB in there. I was borrowing that red one that everybody saw, and I felt bad holding on to it as long as I did. I was only going to borrow it for the Shiloh, and here it is a week later. I'm still using the damn thing. So I used a different knight. I have to put a banner on him. I sent my BSB to somebody who wanted to paint my BSB so I could put an ad on the channel for him, which I'm fine with. But unfortunately, the post office lost my BSB. Don't worry, it was insured and everything like that, but my BSB is gone. So I have to make another one, and that sucks. BSBs have some really crappy luck in my army, don't they? You don't get smashed, you get lost in the mail, you get sucked into the warp. It sucks to be my BSB. In the center there is my smaller unit of Khorne Warriors with Berserk. There's my War Shrine. I know it looks like it's Mark Nurgle with all the paint and the icons and stuff, but it is. It's Mark Tzeentch. Trust me. Your eyes are just playing with you. That's what it is. And there's some nostalgic moments for some of my longer-term subscribers. There's my unit of Tzeentch Warriors with Hand Weapon Shield and the Tzeentch Frost Giant in there. And, of course, my left flank consists of my Demon Prince, because when you're a Demon Prince, you can hold a flank by yourself. So, here's top of 1 after movement, and I didn't get to go first. I never get to go first. But my opponent throws his dogs way up forward. I wasn't really sure what he was planning on with that, but okay, that'll work. His Demon Prince runs all the way over to that hill, and he actually had a pretty good plan there. I didn't see this what happens happening. It really kind of shocked me. And everything else just runs forward, getting ready. His Mulith runs up to try to get in the range to do his spell into my warriors. There was no way I was going to let that happen. So yeah, for the most part, he's not being cowardly. And that unit on the hill, he was in his shooting phase when he realized he forgot to move them. I looked, I saw him doing it, but he said take it to him, so I figured maybe he had a plan with that. I wasn't really sure. Nope, he just completely forgot to move them. So what can you do? We go into his magic phase, and he gets off Plague Wind, the small one, and it goes like 30 inches, 40 inches, some insane amount, and it blows through my Demon Prince, my Warriors, my War Shrine, and my Khorne Warriors. And as you can see, 5 Tzeentch Warriors die, and 4 Khorne Warriors die. 4 or 5 Khorne Warriors die. 4 Khorne Warriors. So, yeah, the Nurgle Demon Prince just like lifts a leg, farts all over my army, and kills like 9 guys. Like, damn! Take a bow, Demon Prince. The Khorne Warriors don't care, but the Tzeentch Warriors passed their panic check, and I wouldn't have blamed them if they fled, because that was a son of a gun. To add insult to injury, the follow-up Rancid Visitation is able to take out Mikey. Poor guy. Oh, spend all that time on the shelf just to get shelved. Well, that sucks. But yeah, no big deal. They already passed their panic check. The resulting kick in the face, though, was that he rolls a 6 on the lore attribute. So yeah, he's got +1 toughness and wound for the rest of the game now. Outstanding! So we go to bottom 1 after movement, and now I'm just like kind of nervous, so I get into combat as quick as I can. The warriors charge the dogs on my left flank, and the dogs stand, and I make it. The knights charge the dogs, who also stand, and I make it, which was fine. I was like, I'm going to kill the dogs, I'm going to overrun your BSB, and combat res says I'm going to win unless you do something silly. Meanwhile, my Mutalith was going to try to deal with the knights with his spell, and Saval was going to try to get treason off because they were within 6 inches of the dogs. So the hope was with treason, you have to use the lowest leadership in the unit, which the horse's leadership is a 5, and you don't get the knights, you don't get the BSB or the general's special rules. So at a leadership 5 panic check, I was pretty confident that I could get those knights to flee if I could get the spells off. Meanwhile, my dogs run up to bait his Mutalith. My Demon Prince sits there going, yeah, I effing dare you. And the Warriors and the War Shrine just kind of hang back because, well, my Khorne Warriors didn't really have anywhere to go. That wasn't going to get them countercharged. I was thinking the Mutalith would hit my dogs, kill them, blow through, and if he didn't run into my Warriors would charge him and kill it, hopefully. Other than that, yeah. We go over here. There's a better picture of the Knights slamming into the dogs. And there's a better picture of the Warriors slamming into the dogs. And it's good to have the Warriors back. I did miss this unit. My wife did an incredible job on them. And I'm not just saying that because I'm sleeping with her. It's the truth. She really did an excellent job. I like having this unit back. Magic actually doesn't work out in my favor at all. He's able to stop everything I try to cast. So I'm actually kind of impressed with him right now. So I decided to take that impression and just vent it all on his warhounds, and needless to say, my warriors beat the crap out of the dogs. So I overrun because I realized that his Demon Prince has a flank charge on my warriors, and I don't want that. So the warriors overrun, and they overrun 11 inches, which I also didn't want. So they book across the table and are they are literally like 7 inches away from his Nurgle warriors with hand, whip, and shield, who have high ground on them and numbers. Whoops. Oh, well. Over here, yeah, I know you're shocked. My knights and my BSB kill the dogs, overrun, slam into the BSB, and everybody makes their panic checks because I couldn't get treason off. So we go to bottom of 2, and I noticed that my plans aren't that good. His warriors on the hill in the back there with the hell cannon are able to charge easily into my warriors who stand and take it. His Demon Prince tries to charge my Demon Prince and fails his charge. Woohoo! However, the knights that weren't supposed to be there, yeah, they were there, and they charged into flank of my knights, which makes it more of a fair fight, which I hate. And his Mutalith charges into my dogs, who pass their terror check, only because the Demon Prince is sitting there telling him to sit. Other than that, his Khorne Warriors tried to charge the dogs as well and failed their charge. He needed a 5 and he rolled a 3. So I was happy about that. The Khorne Warriors are out of position now, which gives Saval and the Mutalith time to mess with them. There's a better picture of his knights slamming into my knights, and yeah, this is actually not a fair fight. This is actually a fight very, very heavily weighted in his favor, which I'm not okay with. Over here, the Mutalith slamming into the dogs right there. I figured if the dogs break, the Corn Warriors will cut down his Mutalith. If the dogs stand by some act of God, the Demon Prince is going to slam into the flank, kill it, and overrun into the Corn Warriors, and then just monkey stomp him until he's bored. There's a better picture of that failed charge of the Corn Warriors. Woo! I was happy about that. And there's a better picture of the failed charge of his Demon Prince into my Demon Prince. And it's good to know that other people fail charges like that. Very good to know. Last but not least, here's the final charge of his Nurgle Warriors into my Tzeentch Warriors, and I wasn't happy about that. But the Tzeentch Warriors got overexcited, probably because they've been sitting on a shelf for so long, and they just wanted to get into combat, and they got their wish. During his magic phase, he's able to force through Curse of the Leper on my Tzeentch Warriors and lowers them down to Toughness 1, which sucks. We go into combat, and he's able to kill, I think it's like two. No, he's able to kill one of my warriors. He does a lot of wounds, but I'm able to make all my saves, except for one. That's why the Frost Giant chick is out of there, but I don't seem to have lost that many models. Meanwhile, I do 2 or 3 wounds back to him because it's kind of hard to hit Nurgle, and he's able to save all of them. I lose this combat by 2. 2 or 3. He's got a rank and a charge and a high ground on me to my banner and rank, not to mention his wounds. So I lose by 3, maybe 4. I lose by a lot. I think I need a 5 to stay. I don't roll it. I break, but I get away. I roll like a 10. It's actually kind of impressive. So they get away. I do end up losing one more model because, the banner stuck around and died so that the rest of them could get away, which was noble of him. But they end up right there, so I'm actually okay with it. Over here in combat, his Mutalith flubs like a champion and only kills 1 dog. And it's not until the magic phase of our next turn that somebody mentions, how did the dog still alive? He flubbed, he failed to hit and wound. It was actually kind of insane. And he goes, didn't he thunderstomp? And we were both like, oh man. Now I take some responsibility for that. I would have said something had I thought of it, but you've got to understand, we're in a couple of turns in this game. My stomach is just like eating itself up because I haven't eaten all day. And it's like 8:30 at night right now. I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving, and I was supposed to go to Taco Mania with a buddy of mine. And he's standing right next to me as I'm taking this picture going, dude, just forfeit the game. Let's go eat. And I was like, I can't. I don't know how to quit. And I'm taking pictures for a report. I don't want to miss this game, but I'm so hungry, and he didn't want to go by himself. So there's all sorts of stuff going on right now, and yeah, we completely forgot about Thunderstomp. So that's why the dogs lived. I forgot about it. My opponent forgot about it. So we were just like, yep, you rolled 1 Thunderstomp, rolled a 1 to wound. So sucks, but that's the reason that the dog stayed there. Over here in combat, my knights actually do really well. I lose my unit champion because he makes way and goes over to the right there, and he's able to kill my unit champion because he puts like 3 knights into him. But I'm able to kill one of his knights. My BSB and his BSB just beat on each other's armor for a little while. I glance off his ward save, and he beats on my armor. Other than that, nothing happens really. He wins this combat, but I'm able to stick it out. So we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and there is a bunch. We kind of explode a little bit. My Corn Warriors slam into the flank of his knights in order to try to secure my knights and BSB from dying. My Demon Prince slams into the Mutalith in the vague hope of being able to kill him and run off into the Corn Warriors before his Demon Prince can get into me. My Tzeentch Warriors rally and turn around, and I fully expect to lose them because I figured if my Demon Prince wasn't there, he would charge into the rear of my Tzeentch Warriors and the front with his Nurgle Warriors and just murder them, which I was actually okay with. And Saval and Mutalith move over to try to whittle down the Corn Warriors the best they can. There's a better picture of my Demon Prince slamming into the Mutalith. And there's a better picture of my Corn Warriors slamming into the Knights, just looking for a little bit looking to help out the Knights who are they're not faltering, but they did lose combat, and that makes me nervous. And there's a better picture of the Tzeentch Warriors rallying, which I was very happy with. Granted, they needed like a 9 or a 10 because the Demon Prince was right there and they have a musician, but I'm still happy by the fact that they actually rallied. During the magic phase, I am able to get the beast spell off on these guys, and I roll a 1. So now they cause fear. That wasn't the plan. I wasn't trying to help him. But he only has to take 1 toughness check too, but he rolls a 6. So 1 Corn Warrior dies. We got his Tim. So I feel good about that. Also during the magic phase, I probably should have fired Infernal Gateway off on his Corn Warriors, but I said, screw it, I want the Hell Cannon dead before it pops me. So I fire off Infernal Gateway, and at first we thought I destroyed it. It was like 8 strength, or it was like 6 or 7 strength, 8 hits or something silly like that. At first I thought, cool, because like 5 wounds got through or something ridiculous. Yeah, 5 wounds got through. So I was like, cool, the Hell Cannon's dead. And then one of our buddies walks up and goes, how did you just kill the Hell Cannon? Didn't any of those wounds go over to the handlers? I always forget that stupid thing's not a war machine. Without fail, I forget that stupid thing's not a war machine. So it's like, oh yeah, which because it was funny too because when the Hell Cannon exploded, when we thought it exploded, it was within 6 inches of the warriors, the Nurgle warriors, and they panicked and they fled. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be able to run his warriors off the table next turn. That's awesome. And then the guy comes over and tells us, no, you guys aren't playing right. That's how hungry I was. I'm forgetting basic rules. So, yeah, we redo it. And the 5 wounds, 3 of them went onto the cannon, 2 of them went onto the warriors. The Hail Cannon's still there, good to go. And we put his warriors back where they were. So if they're a little out of position, I take full blame for that. I'm screwing up the rules because all I can think of is the deliciousness that is tacos that aren't in my belly that's screaming at me to feed it. Oh yeah, and the Hell Cannon now has a 6 of regen because it makes its toughness check. During the combat phase, I flub pretty spectacularly here. My Demon Prince is able to put like a wound or 2 on the Mutolith, not much, but that's it. And the Mutolith puts all his attacks onto the dogs, kills them all, and he remembers the Thunder Stomp this time, and he wins his combat. Luckily, I don't care because I'm unbreakable, and his Mutolith turns to face him. Right here, yeah, we kill every single knight that's not on my team. I do lose 1 or 2 Corn Warriors, not a big deal. And I'm able to actually put a wound off on his BSB, which I felt pretty good about. We win by a landslide. And his BSB breaks, and he doesn't get run down, he just dies. Unfortunately, the knights and the warriors, they don't they don't pursue very far, and I don't run into the Corn Warriors with halberds. I stop about an inch away from them. So, whoops. My Tzeentch warriors are overexcited and run 11 inches, but my knights who are on horses with swift stride can't go 6. Irony. So we go to top of 3 after movement, and as you had expected, things charge. His Corn Warriors charge into my Knights, his Nurgle Warriors charge into my Warriors, and his Demon Prince charges into my Demon Prince. Everything else is either dead or a Hell Cannon. There's a better picture of his Demon Prince knocking on my back door of my Demon Prince, which is dirty. And there's a better picture of his Corn Warriors slamming into my Knights, and I've pretty much written these guys off at this point. I'm like, damn, that sucks. I'm going to lose this combat. This is another one. I was like, woo, these warriors are going to eat me alive. That sucks. During his magic phase, he gets Doom and Darkness off on my knights, and it's like, oh man, if I lose this combat, these guys are gone because they're leadership 6 right now. Oh, I was worried. During the shooting phase, the Hell Cannon finally dials in. It missed both rounds earlier, but this round it direct hits on my Corn Warriors and kills 4 of them, which is sad. Luckily for me, though, they're frenzied and couldn't give a crap about the panic check. Over here in combat, I kill one of his guys, he kills one of mine. He's got me by 2 ranks and a banner and a charge. Our wounds cancel each other out. Plus, he's got a banner. I lose this combat, but believe it or not, I stick it out, which is insane. And then over here, my Demon Prince, he just puts more wounds on the Mutolith, I think 1 or 2. Mutolith's still alive, makes his break check. Or actually, I lose this combat because with charge rear to like the 1 wound I do to the Mutolith, they win this combat, but I'm not going anywhere. And over here in combat, my BSB accepts the challenge from the unit champion, who has no choice. I'm able to kill the BSB. I do like four wounds to him or something like that, which was spectacular. And I roll on the Eye of the Gods chart, and the gods decide to bless my BSB, my combat BSB, with the gloriousness that is ballistic skill. Yes! Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Oh, poo. So, yeah, I roll the dreaded 3, and my BSB becomes better at throwing things. Yay! However, in the rest of combat, my knights kick the stuffing out of these guys. I kill 4 more Corn Warriors, and I only lose 1 knight. These guys were on fire, and that's why they're in my damn army, because they're better than friggin' crap elf-infused Skull Crusher garbage. And I don't care who says otherwise, put them on the table, I'll show ya. I'll charge my knights into your damn Skull Crushers and show you that they suck. But I end up actually winning this combat, which is kind of ridiculous. I end up doing 8 wounds total, 4 to the unit champion, 4 to the unit. I have 2 banners. He does 1 wound to me, he charged, and he has 2 ranks. I end up winning this combat, but they're steadfast and they stick it out. So we go to bottom of 3 after movement. And I've had it with these Corn Warriors. Saval, the Beast, and the Warriors all charge his Warriors. The War Shrine moves up to try to buff, and everything else of mine is dead or in combat. There's a better picture of just the dog pile that has become this combat. There's so much crap in there you can't even see Saval. If you look through the little wiggly things on the Mutalith, you can kind of see Saval's shield, I think. But yeah, trust me, he's right there behind the Mutalith. During my magic phase, he's actually very easily able to stop everything except for the War Shrine spell. I hold 1 die back, I roll it, it's a 5 or a 6, the spell goes off, and I'm able to give my BSB and my and Berserk a roll on the Eye of the Gods chart, and they both end up rolling +1 attack. Yeah, I know you roll 3d6, but the best choices were +1 attack. So now my BSB has 5 always strikes first attacks, and Berserk has 7 strength 5 attacks. Berserk is truly Berserk. Oh, I'm really starting to become a believer in the War Shrine. I think maybe I'm gonna start doing it. I think I'm gonna hold 1 die off in the back in like the first few turns of combat just to try to buff my units, because the War Shrine's actually quite useful. Yeah, and as you can see, I kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 of his Corn Warriors. I lose all my knights. He kills my knights. I think he might kill maybe 1 of my warriors, my Corn Warriors. I'm not 100% on that. No, he does not end up killing any of my warriors. I apologize. But he does kill the 3 knights. They die, and that's fine. But yeah, once again, I end up winning this combat by a landslide. And he breaks. And unfortunately, they get away. The only people, I mean, everybody pursues, but Saval's out of combat. So he's actually blocking the Mutalith and my Corn Warriors from overrunning. I mean, they overrun, but they stop immediately right where they're at. And the BSB chases after them because nothing's stopping him, but they get away. So that's unfortunate, but it's still kind of cool the way it worked out. Over here, my Demon Prince is able to kill his Mutalith. I win this combat, but who cares? And then I turn to face the Demon Prince in epic combat. And over here, really, really stalemated type of game. I kill 2 of his warriors, he kills 2 of mine. He wins this combat. I break, but I get away. So we go to top of 4 after movement, and as you can see, I'm not lying to you, my warriors did break, and they did. They ran like another 9 or 10 inches and got away. His blah blah blah. His warriors, I think they try to charge my warriors again, and I flee and get away. Meanwhile, his Corn Warriors do not rally because they needed Snake Eyes because they were below 25%, and they end up fleeing off the table. Other than that, he's got his Hell Cannon and his Nurgle Warriors and his Demon Prince, and they're all in combat or failing charges. During his magic phase, he ends up getting, what is it, Blades of Putrefaction and Miasma Pestilence off on his Demon Prince. Really just kind of tilting the odds in his favor, and that's a smart thing to do. I can't fault him for that, although I'm not happy about it because it's hurting my chances to survive. And then during the shooting phase, his Hell Cannon dials in and kills 2 more of my warriors. He actually did hit and he targeted the warriors. It deviated like 2 or 3 inches onto the Mutalith, and he ended up hitting 3 warriors, and the hole was over the Mutalith. He wounds the Mutalith, it doesn't grow back, and he only rolls a 1 for damage. So the Mutalith takes a wound, passes his panic check at -1 thanks to the BSB being right there, but 2 of my Corn Warriors die, and they're frenzied, they don't care. Over here in combat, his Demon Prince slips a wound through Tremendous's defenses, and that hurts because now this combat's starting to go his way. And then we go to bottom of 4 because, the Demon Princes aren't breaking. They're just going to kill each other in that forest. Which would be kind of an epic combat. The way it's like centered and everything like that. It's kind of cool the way it ended up. They're just beating the crap out of each other over the body of a dead mutilate. Bottom of 4, though, my BSB runs over to try to help out my warriors who rallied. The 7 of them that are left, my BSB runs over to try to get into that combat. I know they're going to charge my warriors, but if they can hold on just one turn, the BSB is going to run in there and at the very least try to kill his sorcerer. My Corn Warriors move to look at the cannon. The Beast looks at the cannon, and Saval looks at the cannon with the intent of trying to nuke face this cannon off the damn planet. During my magic phase, I get Final Transmutation off on his Nurgle Warriors. I 6-dice it, and I tried to Kamikaze cast it, but it doesn't end up misfiring. It just goes off. He's not able to stop it, and I kill a ton of his warriors and his unit champion. So his unit champion dies, and a bunch of his warriors die, and the great thing about that is they're now stupid. So they're immunopsychology. They can't flee, they can't run away or anything like that, so cool. Nothing else interesting really happens. We go into combat with the Demon Prince. I'm able to slip a wound through on his Demon Prince. He doesn't do anything to me, so now we're tied to 1 wound to 1 wound. But the problem is he's +1 toughness, +1 wound. So I've actually just evened the playing field now. Well, actually, no. He's still up by 1 because I'm down a wound. Meanwhile, his cannon fails his leadership check and goes pell-mell into the Beast. Makes it with inches to spare. And there's nothing the Beast can do about it because it's random movement. You just kind of take it. And, of course, his Nurgle Warriors, even though the odds are a lot better now, they charge into my Warriors. And make it no problem. There's a better picture of close combat happening over here. Oh, yes, I do get glittering robes off on my Warriors as well. I forgot. Sorry about that. So yeah, there's a better picture of his warriors slamming into my warriors. And right here, there's a better picture of his hell cannon slamming into my beast. During his magic phase, he gets like all the Nurgle spells off. He even gets Curse of the Leper off on my Demon Prince, and I'm like, oh, damn it. So, in combat over here, my warriors and his warriors aren't able to do anything to each other. I mean, we do some wounds, but he's not able to get past my 1-up, 5-up. I'm not able to hit him because he's Nurgle. So, well, I think I hit him, but he stops everything. He's got charge and a banner to my nothing. So he wins by 2, but I'm able to make my break check no problem, which is nice. And then we go over here in epic combat, and I put 2 more wounds onto his Nurgle Demon Prince, and he puts another wound on me. He actually puts 2 more wounds on me, but I'm able to Soul Feeder 1, and he's not able to Soul Feeder any. So now we're on even ground. I have 2 wounds left, and he has 2 wounds left. It's well, we have even ground on the wounds. He's actually got huge advantages, and that poisonous slime is helping so much, because every 6 I'm rolling to hit is an auto hit. Or is an auto wound, which is huge. I can't even stress that enough. Over here in combat, the Beast ends up taking 4 wounds. I lose by charge, high ground, 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. I do nothing back to the Hell Cannon. And the Beast flees, and he rolls boxcars to flee. So he gets away, but it's only because I rolled really well, because he rolled like an 8 or a 9 to go after him. It was close. So we go to bottom of 5 after movement, and as you can see, the Beast rallies. The Warriors charge into the flank of the Hell Cannon, because where it ended up, I could see its rear end area there. And my BSB makes his long distance charge into the flank of his Warriors that are into my Warriors. Meanwhile, my War Shrine just kind of chases after the Corn Warriors, because they're going after a Hell Cannon with a couple of wounds left in them. I need to make sure that it survives as long as possible. There's a better picture of my BSB slamming into the Warriors, trying to bail out my Warriors before they get killed. And there's a better picture of my Corn Warriors slamming into the Hell Cannon, trying to save the Mulith before he gets killed. During this combat, my magic phase does nothing. At some point, I missed a picture of it. At some point, though, my Saval misfired 10 and lost all of his wizard levels. I don't remember exactly when this was. Again, I was really hungry and I did miss taking some pictures. But yes, that did happen. That's why Saval hasn't gotten any spells off. So it's just my Demon Prince and the Beast and the Shrine casting spells right now. But he's actually stopping all my spells no problem. I'm actually kind of impressed with how well he was able to do that. But During combat over here, my BSB issues a challenge. His sorcerer has to accept. I beat it to death, and I roll in the Eye to God's chart, and I roll boxcars, which I was not thrilled with. Number one, my Demon Prince model was in the truck, which was outside in the pouring rain, so I wasn't going to get it. And number two, I didn't want to give up my BSB points for something where it just wasn't necessary. So all I could hope is that I fail my leadership check and just become stubborn, you know? And wouldn't you know it, I roll an 11. And per the rule, you cannot re-roll this, so awesome. I roll an 11, and he's now stubborn. The gods are good. The rest of combat goes on, and the warriors, I'm able to kill one of his warriors. He's able to kill one of mine. I have charge, flank, BSB, wound to wound, and a banner. Not to mention the 3 wounds I did to his sorcerer. He loses by a landslide. He is not steadfast. And we run them the F down. So more Nurgle warriors are defeated by my hands, and I'm thrilled. The Tzeentch warriors, man, they got lucky. They should have been run down twice. 2 or 3 times they should have been run down, but they turned, they fought, and the BSB bails them out in the end, which is the way God intended it. Over here, with all the extra attacks, Berserk did end up getting a reroll for his troubles and stuff like that. We were able to kill the cannon, no problem. He just had 2 wounds left on him. And then over here, we do a huge tickle fight. They throw their weapons down on the ground and just tickle, 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 tickle. And they call it a stalemate. I don't know why they decided to do that, but they're chaos demons. You don't question why they do things because you probably wouldn't like the answer. So we go to top of 6 after movement, and nothing moves. Everything is dead. So we literally go straight into combat. That's not true. We do his magic phase, but he gets like 4 dice, 3 and 1, and he fails to cast his first spell. So, not because I dispelled it, because he rolled really poorly. And so we go straight into combat, and as you can see, I'm actually able to finish him off thanks to poisonous attacks, which is awesome. And once again, the poison slime does work with a demon prince unless he has a magic weapon, because the only time it stops you is when you have a magic weapon. My demon prince does not have a magic weapon, and if he did, I would not be allowed to take, for example, the Sword of Striking or the Demon Sword, which the demon prince is the only one that can take the demon sword. So yeah, he doesn't have a magic weapon. Poisonous slime works on him, no problem. Read the book before you comment and say it's not allowed. I know somebody's going to. I know like 3 of you are already doing it just because I said don't do it. But those guys are cool. I have no problem with that. It's the guys that's going to get all bent out of shape because he doesn't want to believe it's true that it's going to be irritating with. But maybe there's an FAQ. I mean, check the FAQ. Maybe I missed that. I should probably check that. But I'm pretty sure the FAQ, it hasn't been updated in almost a year now, hasn't changed. So I think I'm okay there. I think I pretty much covered all my bases. But, yep, here you go. Here's the end of the game. And as you can see, there is an abundance of me on the field. And that's the way I like it. That's the way it's going on. And about 20 minutes later, I know you were worried, I did finally get my Taco Mania, and it was so good. Oh. But anyway, we'll get to the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Tokens, fellas. Tokens, tokens, tokens. Wound counters, augment markers, hex markers, every status, ailment, and effect you can think of, from not being able to move to the lore attributes to the lore hexes and bonuses that they provide. Everything that you can think of that you could need a marker for, that we use dice for, Token Grail makes the tokens. Send her an email, tell her what you need. Any gaming system, from Magic the Gathering to Infinity to Malifaux to 40k to Fantasy, whatever you need tokens for, she will make them, and they come out they're flawless. Look at them. They're the glass beads. They magnify the words in the picture, so they're really easy to see from, the tabletop and everything like that. They're a lot more accurate than dice, and they're dirt cheap, guys. She sells them for less than $10 a kit. Dirt cheap prices, solid gold quality. Totally worth it. Send her an email, get yourself some tokens. The only request that I make is that if you are overseas, if you're outside of America, before you send her an email, you have to understand that shipping prices are through the roof. So as long as you're okay with paying like $30+ shipping fees, don't send her an email because it's just going to waste both your times. But if you are in America or you don't mind high shipping fees, then by all means send her an email, get yourself some tokens. It's totally worth it. So, I know you already figured this out, but it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I was able to table my opponent, and he told me to come at him. He told me to. He ended up losing, or I ended up losing my Knights and my Warhounds. He ended up losing everything. After the game, I was looking through the points and stuff like that. He ended up at around, well, a little over 2,600 points with everything that was after everything was said and done. Um, I guess it's not a huge big deal. I guess I should have noticed that earlier, like when he had all those warriors on there and still had a hell cannon and beast on there, no problem with all the magic. I know he had magic banners. I just can't. I know he had the razor standard. I just can't remember where. Well, I guess it would have to be in a knights. Anyway, I know he had this stuff. Not a huge big deal. We just have to watch the army list building thing a little bit better next time. But still, it did my ego proud to know that even with a huge 100-point difference in the army list, I was still able to win due to luck. So not a biggie. We were only playing for 4 grand. Stuff happens. What can you do? But I really do like having the Zinch Warriors back in the list, and the War Shrine being in the list, giving the BSB and Berserk +1 attack was huge. It was really nice having those extra abilities and stuff like that. It kind of made me think about toying around with Chosen maybe at some point, although they're really expensive for what they do. But yeah, I'm actually kind of liking this. I'm hoping I can make it work because having a war shrine in my army would make it even more unique. Which the hipster in me likes that. So don't worry, I'm trying to kill him with gluten and stuff like that. My Demon Prince having poison attacks is really nice. That's kind of what helped me win that combat. That is what won me that combat against his Demon Prince. And like I've said 100 times, they do work. The rules state a magic weapon can't benefit from poison or flaming. The Demon Prince does not have a magic weapon, just magical attacks, which are not the same thing. I do want to get some more games in with this list against multiple opponents, but I think I found a pretty solid list. I like having the 2 bound spells. I like having the War Shrine. I like having the Warriors. 2 units of Warriors is really nice. I think I like this list. I think it's a pretty solid one. I don't have any plans to change it, but let's face it, I'm one of the most fickle Chaos Generals on the planet. I probably will, no matter what I say, because I'll see something and I'll want to try it. But we'll see. So for right now, this could be the list that I run for a while. But yeah, like I said, during the whole game, I made a lot of mistakes. I forgot to call a lot of things just simply because I was starving. My stomach wouldn't shut up the whole game. I was thinking about maybe chewing on one of the models that were dead, but only my dogs and my knights, they're kind of spiky, a little rough, no salt. I'm a whiner and I'm a connoisseur of food. What can I tell you? But it was a good game. And after we make some tweaks to his list to make it legal and everything like that, I'm looking forward to a rematch. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report. Number, what is this, 98 now? Holy crap. Hope you guys are enjoying them still. I'm still enjoying making them. I enjoy chatting with you guys on the forums and stuff like that, or on the comment section and stuff like that. So, yeah, as always, any questions, comments, concerns, and complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.